am Mayor Staci Albritton Mitchell for the City of West Monroe, and I am happy to be here today on What's in the Works with Neela Roofing.
Hey everybody, welcome to What's in the Works podcast. We're excited to have some West Monroe representation finally with Miss Staci Albritton Mitchell. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. We've realized through the process we've had a lot of really great guests and like a lot of really cool people on that we've learned a lot from. And we realized we were looking and we said we haven't had anybody from West Monroe yet. So it's
about time.
Heavy Monroe. It is about time.
That's it.
And we're big fans of West Monroe.
Well,
7 Square Coffee.
There
Every
you go.
morning. They know exactly what I get every morning.
Great
So
place.
yeah, it's a great place. Well, thank you for being here. One thing that we've talked a lot about recently is we've had some city organization and political people on. And one thing that we've noticed is it's kind of reshaped our idea of what it actually like means to be like a citizen in a community itself. I think it's easy to just like wake up and live your life every day and just understand like, oh, I'm just in a city. But when you start to talk to people who are like involved in like the structuring and organization of things for that community that most of us take for granted, it starts to like change the idea of what it means to participate in an actual community and an organization. Me and Alex attended. You did a city address not long ago.
State of the City.
The State of the City
In
address.
November.
Yeah. We were there,
Okay.
and you did very well.
Well,
you were
thank
very
you.
funny. You captured a crowd very well.
You ran that room.
I don't get told I'm
You ran
funny
the room.
very often.
No, you were. It
You
was
ran that room.
it was good, but it was super interesting. Even watching like tax breakdown on where it goes to, like the water treatment plant stuff that y'all are doing. Like that's super interesting because again, it's just it's easy to take things for granted. I just pay a sales tax, and I don't really ever consider where those things go and how they're being allocated, and how there are people in the back end watching and allocating things to help everyone around us. You know,
Right.
so that was great. Will you talk a little bit about like how you got started, what your story is, how you kind of came into running for mayor?
Sure. Well, I grew up here, and some in the city, some not in the city, but grew up here, always involved in my community. After college, had the opportunity. I went to LSU, have a degree in Ag Eco, had the opportunity to move away and decided I did not want to really move away. I like where I lived. And so came home, went into business with my parents, and again, had kids, do all the things, but still active, involved in the community. And after my kids were a little bit older, got more involved in the chamber, had a little bit more time able to do that. And an alderman passed away in 2011. And so I just went to see Mayor Norris and said, hey, what does it take? I mean, I knew he had to appoint someone. I think I'd like to be in that position. And he appointed me. So I ran my business, which is Albritton Photography, for all those years. It started as Albritton Camera with my parents. Ran my business, served as an alderman, which is a city council member. And then it just kind of came naturally. Mayor Norris served 40 years, as for the city.
Wow.
But it came naturally. People were, looking for someone that would step up, and I was encouraged to run for mayor. And so in 2018, I did run for mayor. Mayor Norris chose to run again there at the very end, and I've been here now 8 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you're campaigning again. When's the next election for mayor?
The next election is in May.
Oh, it's in May. Oh,
Yeah.
it's coming up. It's next month.
It's like
Yeah,
right
we
now.
knew it was coming soon. It's right now.
I'm finishing up my
Yeah.
8th year, my second term.
Yeah, vote for Miss Staci Albritton.
That's
Mitchell.
right. There you go. There you go.
We vote, yeah. No, that's great. So what has your experience been like you've been pretty much involved with West Monroe your whole life. One thing we've been super interested in is like the natural growth that's been happening in the community, especially as of late. There's a lot of influx things that are happening, obviously with like the meta stuff moving in and just where we're all trending. How have you seen your community in West Monroe grow?
Sure. Well, when you were talking about community participation or being a participant a minute ago, that is something that I stress. And not only have I seen our community grow with some new businesses coming in town, I mean, obviously the West Monroe Sports and Events Center, which is a city and a CVB project.
It's incredible.
It is
The place
incredible. You are
beautiful.
wonderful.
It is top class.
Yes.
Volleyball has got to be the fastest growing thing I've seen. In the city.
It is. I mean,
crazy.
and that's one of the great things about that facility. Not only is it bringing sports tourism, which brings outside sales tax revenue and business to our community, but it's growing sports and opportunities for our young people. There's 450 girls in the volleyball, the local volleyball league now. And it's grown it at our schools and everything else. So, that facility has done an amazing job.
Yeah.
But again, just the growth that we're seeing with those type of businesses, I love the community participation because I do tell everybody, be a participant, get involved, be part of the solution. Don't just sit and talk about they should do this and they should do that, which is, a lot of why also I ran for mayor as somebody, and why not? And why shouldn't I step up and do something like that? But so that growth is good, but the community participation and people being excited about where they live and being part of the solution and just part of everything that's going on is what is making the huge difference in our community.
So when you first were elected, what kind of was your primary focus that you saw as like the biggest need? Because I noticed certain things that have changed since you've been in office. I don't know if those were already in motion or if those were things you brought, but it seems like things just look better, right? Like there's Christmas lights on the city hall. I mean, there's just so much there, right?
Yeah.
Like, was that kind of your push? Like, and then I know downtown West Monroe has been a forever project for everybody, but like it seems like it finally happened,
Right. So there were obviously some projects in the works. I mean, when I leave office, there will be projects in the works. But my big push when I was campaigning, I heard about sewer needs, drainage needs. People wanted something to be happening at the property out in front of the Ike where the sports complex is now located. That's called Point West. That property had seen a lot of development, 20 years ago and a few hotels, but it had sat empty for many years. And so people wanted to see something there. People wanted to see more activity, more recreation in our area. Those were the things that I heard the most when I was campaigning 8 years ago. And so when we first came into office, and recycling. So when I first came into office, first thing we did is we were able to get the recycle center going, which it was a smaller facility. We worked with something that we already had. It made sense. Since then we've received some grants and been able to expand that facility, and it's the #1 recycle facility in the state.
It's a smooth operation. You just
It
pull
is.
through and they'll
Right.
Right. #1 in the state.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes, and we've received all kinds of awards for it. It's a voluntary recycle. So, I mean, of the type of facility it is, service it is, it's not a curbside pickup. It's voluntary, which shows because how much it is used, and we have people come from all over Northeast Louisiana that use that facility. That shows how much it was wanted and needed. Of course, drainage and sewer. There's some big sewer projects going on right now, and so when you come into or when you're in office, just in local government, really probably all levels, it takes forever to get things done. Big projects, because you have to find funding for it. Then you've got to, we leverage our tax dollars with grants, identify the problems, what would the solution be, find the funding. Then you have to go through the design process, the approval process, which with whatever funding agency it is, and then you actually go to construction. So we've done lots of smaller sewer and water projects, but like right now we are 90% finished with a very large sewer project. It's called the Drago Sewer Lift Station. It's the second largest lift station in our city.
That's what we saw at the State of the City.
Yes, it's a $5.8 million project. We were able to get grants for all but about $1.3 million of it. And that one's almost complete. And that's something that nobody will see unless you go work on a sewer system, unless you have a reason to go see a sewer system. So that project is huge. I mean, that serves about 2,400 residents in the northwest part of West Monroe, Thomas Road, Glenwood Hospital, West Monroe High School, all of that. This summer, we will see the Alston Street Sewer Lift Station, which is about a $4 to $5 million project. It hasn't gone to bid yet, but that's the estimated cost on it. That will go to bid this summer. So those were the two biggest needs that when I came in office, the engineer said, our sewer system needs work, you got to find some money. So we've been successful to doing that, and it has taken this long. We've worked on it continuously, and it's now happening. Again, stuff that nobody generally will see. But you have to have it. You have to have it. Drainage. Drainage was something, again, especially in the Sunshine Heights neighborhood and the Highland Park neighborhoods, which are north of Highland School and then north of the Highland Park wetland trails, as well as some areas in the Riverbend community and the industrial park. Now, the industrial park had been awarded some funding through EDA for a drainage project, but it had just sat. It had not gone anywhere. So we got on it, started working our legislators, everything else. So far we have completed the industrial drainage project, which there has not been water in one business anymore since then in the industrial park, and allowed some expansion and additional capacity for these businesses. We finished the Highland Park detention and drainage project. Hasn't been any water in any houses since that time. We've done the commercial park drainage project, which was there in front of the Ike Hamilton. It enclosed a huge drainage ditch. That has allowed the development in that area over by the Ike Hamilton. We've seen multiple businesses locate there, as well as a new hotel's going to open here very soon, and the Lake Latigo cabins that are there. We are in the process. Construction is going on currently for Sunshine Heights drainage, which is, again, that's a decades-old problem. And West Monroe is hillier. We have a little bit different terrain than the east side of the river, but we're still relatively flat. There's only a 4-foot drop-off between the back of like what we call Walmart all the way down to where the drainage Black Bayou Canal hits the river. That's how that drains 80% of the city of West Monroe. So working on these projects, this drainage to get the water to Black Bayou Canal faster is what we're doing. We have another project called Mid-City Drainage, which is very close to getting to go to bid and work there. That's the area around Cypress. I call it the old area Cypress. So you've got Jackson, Copley, Claiborne, just kind of east of the high school and all that area. So again, those two were the big needs. Also, commercial development out in the property in front of the Ike Hamilton. So working with the CVB, we were able to get the West Monroe Sports and Events Center built. That project had already been identified as the need for an indoor sports facility was identified by the CVB in 2015. It had just not gone anywhere. Yeah. Right. So we developed a funding source for it. It has its own funding source, so no funds come out of the general operating budget for it. We created an economic development district, which does have an additional sales tax, but most of that it's a 1 cent, and an occupancy tax at the hotel. So it's paid for people that are not from our community. They come in, stay at the hotels, eat in the restaurants, and enjoy our community and go back home. So it's a fantastic project, and it's doing so much for our community. I mean, y'all have all seen it.
Yeah.
And then of course downtown. West Monroe downtown has been, has had retail in it. Sure. But it has not been a focus, if you would. And it's funny, a misconception that people have is that the city has put all this money into downtown West Monroe. Sure. The city itself has not, because the city does not invest money in private properties. Sure. What the city has done is we became a Main Street community, and we do have a Main Street director, and that's Adrienne LaFrance Wells. She does that as well as other things for the city. So it's awareness, and it's a structured program. We've done the Downtown West Monroe Revitalization Group. I was actually a founding member of that. Golly, it's probably been 11 years now, so before I was a mayor, as well with Courtney Hornsby and Alana Cooper and some other, Tanya Hamilton, some others, Amanda Edge, some others in downtown. And it was to raise money to go into downtown. So we were able to do small things and, put benches, put some doing some beautification work, doing awareness. Since that time, people have seen that, and it is private investment that is going in, locating businesses there, buying buildings, rehabbing them because of the potential, because of what they're seeing. And that's what I think of local government. Local government makes sure that you've got good sewer, water, drainage, streets, so that businesses and people can thrive. We set the foundation, but then you let the business and the community thrive. And then the next thing was, you mentioned the city looks great.
Yeah, it does.
You're right.
It
so
does.
We did a beautification crew when we first came in office. In fact, probably the first week we came in office, it's like, okay, we need to look better, because first impressions. Right. Well, that makes a difference. I mean, we all know when you go somewhere that's dirty, unkept, the whole works. I mean, what does that make you feel? And so you don't want to live there or do business there. So just doing things that the city can do, like making sure the sidewalks are clear, and of course, you can never keep up with it during the growing season, but making sure our code enforcement is stronger. Again, beautification keeps sidewalks. They try to keep vines down. Just all the different things. And there's a lot of right of ways. In even as small a city as West Monroe is to do. So that has made a tremendous difference. But it's also getting the community to understand and realize and pay attention. And pick up trash. Teach your kids not to litter. Keep your properties clean. It makes a difference.
It does. It's like that, the philosophy, like of the Disney, if it looks clean, you'll participate in keeping it clean. So
Exactly.
That makes sense.
True.
What are you guys, I know you guys just experienced pretty substantial damage from the winter storm, and the park is closed. So what is that? Is that a community need project? Like, do people need to come volunteer, or is that
Not yet?
Okay, I didn't know how
Not
that's
yet.
like. I'm just ready for
I've
it
never
to-
seen Austin
Right.
so excited about
Yes.
it. This is West Monroe. This is up his alley.
Yeah.
This is his time to shine.
So far, between the debris removal contractor that did the city stuff, so all in the right of ways in the streets,
Sure.
the debris removal contractor, we have a separate contractor working in the park, and then of course our own public works crews. 72,500 cubic yards of debris has been removed.
Holy
Right,
cow.
and which equates to 10 Goodyear blimp size worth of debris. That's the best.
Jeremy, pull up the
like
Goodyear
that.
blimp.
Yeah.
What's up? Take
yeah. And so.
It looks small in the sky.
Right.
They're big.
Yeah.
It is big.
Yeah.
The debris. So the contractor that was working in the city has done. The FEMA allows for 2 passes through the city. That debris removal contractor has finished, cleaned up, done their site, regraded their site where they were burning the debris, etc. All of that's done. Caroli Park is still in the works, and that debris removal, they're expecting still another 8 weeks, and they have to remove. I mean, there's just so
A
many
lot of trees
trees.
got lost
A
in
lot of
that.
trees.
That's
Yes,
sad.
a lot of
So
trees.
many beautiful oak trees
Yeah.
fell. I mean, they just split from the weight.
Yeah,
It's
and the
really
pine trees
devastating.
lost
That's
their,
it.
the pines
Pines.
lost the pines lost a lot of canopy. Which,
Yeah.
if there's 50% or more of the canopy that's lost, I mean, there's specifications that they have to follow for
Sure.
safety, and if it's within 100 feet of a public space in Caroli
Sure.
Park, which there's walking trails and bike trails and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still working in Caroli Park. No one's allowed in there other than the debris removal contractor because of the safety.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, not even our Caroli staff. So they have actually joined the beautification team, and they're out doing more in the city and doing, helping kind of get everything looking good. But they're expecting about 8 weeks for more to get all the debris out, cleaned up. Then, of course, the gate was destroyed. The gatehouse was destroyed. A few of the shelters had some damage. One of the playgrounds had some substantial damage. So all of that will get repaired, and then we'll get it open just as soon as possible. And I promise you, if people ask me, and I get text every day, when's the park going to open?
Yeah.
I'm like, we got 9 other parks. Go.
Well, I have,
Go
your, I have
enjoy
your number
'em.
now. I'll be updating you
Yeah.
as well and asking
Yes.
now that I take that as an open
But
invitation.
it is not safe, and I promise you, I want it open. Our staff wants it open. Everybody
Yeah.
wants it open
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great, and we're learning so much about like you said, like being a mayor. It's not always like the flashy things that get you. It seems like you have to learn so much about water drainage. That's our talks
That's
with
the
Friday.
common theme.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, and it's not necessarily it's just neglect or what have you. It's just like
It's aging
it's
systems.
time.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And y'all, you
And
both you
growth
and Mayor
and-
Ellis,
Yes.
y'all inherited these huge problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our
But-
business is the same. We're also tracking water flow, so we
That's
get
right.
it.
And you said it well when you said, like people don't get to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's when we went to the state
Yeah.
of the city address or what have you, and it's a great time for everybody to actually understand. Like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, we're
Right.
doing a lot of big things. You just can't see it.
Just
Yeah.
can't see it.
And again, it's the same, and our
It does seem like you and Mayor Friday Ellis have collaborated a lot, like because a lot of things are in tandem. The cities have grown similarly, and like like the fireworks are on the bridge. Like I don't know who funds or participates there, but it seems like a shared thing. People on both sides of the river.
Yeah, well, we're one community.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our, we're divided by a river. Separate cities.
United by love. Divided by
there
river,
you go.
united by love.
But we're one regional, economy
Sure.
area, and community.
Yeah. So it seems like you guys just provide the platform for private business.
That's
and so
my
you-
philosophy. Yeah.
And you do the best you can to make it attractive, right?
Yes.
So you've got the area around Ike Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more private investment coming there that is people can know about yet, or like is there?
Not yet.
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough. I'm just
Top
curious.
secret.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
hush.
Hush, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess the others like downtown, right? Did you guys build out like that structure for like the festivals and like the food trucks? Is that city funded? Is that
So not completely, a
Okay.
little bit. So the Alley Park was a
That's
city
it.
street already,
Okay.
and so the Downtown West Monroe Revitalization Group came to me and said, "Hey, And that particular block, that little section there, was already being used whenever the CVB or any kind of event was going on. And the CVB plays, Discover Monroe, West Monroe does a lot in our entire community. But they do Christmas events. They do the lights there on Cotton Street as well. But they said, can we close that off permanently for public space? And we looked at it, and it, checked with 911, the police, everybody, and we're like, I think we can. And so that was done. And of course, there was no stage structures or anything. It was just a space. And so with a grant and funding work from Downtown West Monroe Revitalization Group, Discover Monroe, West Monroe, and the city, we all paid a third. We were able to do those shade structures that you see. In fact, Tim Brandon donated his services, his architectural services to design them. Yeah. And that's also something that just is such a testament, as we've had so much private donation to downtown West Monroe and to our entire city, not just West Monroe. I mean, Highland Park, all those benches you see, the fitness equipment that was done through Living Well. Out at the sports complex, there have been several people that have made contributions there in memory, of a loved one for different things. But specifically in downtown, that was a collaborative effort, and that's your community coming together and making it happen. And so Washita Live is done with through the Chamber and the Arts Council and a couple other organizations. All those type of things. It's all the community. The city provides the space. We may provide the garbage service, that kind of stuff. We have a stage. But that's other people investing in participating in your community.
Yeah, that's incredible.
The marina, the riverfront development, the marina was donated.
Really?
Donated. The fishing pier.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is behind Johnny's Pizza headquarters.
No, the marina is over behind by the railroad tracks. It's something that, again, you don't visually see because it's behind a flood wall.
Okay.
So where Flying Heart is and the condos are and the railroad tracks. There is Riverfront Park. Will have signage soon. That's coming.
Okay.
But so the city we did a capital campaign called Picture This, Our Time Is Now, because we were doing a downtown master plan and talking to people and community input. People wanted to see more access to the Washita River. Now we have Lazar Park, which has a boat ramp, and years ago was kind of a beachy thing. It's a pretty dangerous little area there in the river where it turns and the channel drops off. But so Lazar is there, but it's also on the wet side of the levee. So there are times of the year when it rains that it has to be closed. But people wanted just access to the river from the downtown. So we were able to acquire that piece of property. And then the marina is there. It's a free complimentary public arena. There's boat slips. You can park there, walk up the bridge, go enjoy downtown, watch the fireworks, go to the festival, whatever. That was 100% donated.
Oh, wow.
There's now a fishing pier right beside the railroad tracks, just on the opposite side of the property from it, that was partially funded through about 50% funded through a grant from Wildlife and Fisheries, and the match money was privately donated.
Okay.
And we're talking a $500,000 fishing pier.
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. The Riverfront Park, which is the top part, if you walk through the opening of the seawall, there's picnic tables. It's a beautiful place to sit. You can enjoy lunch. There's shade. Look at the river. That was made possible through a grant from T-Mobile and other private donations.
T-Mobile.
And we want, I just need $2.5 million.
Yeah.
And we want, down the line somewhere to redo. There's a building there that is dilapidated that needs redoing. So the city owns it. We do want to redo that and let it be a business. And then we would love to have some type of amphitheater or something that you could just sit and have small brown bags or something like that. But those are wants. They're not needs.
Sure.
Needs come first. Sewer lift stations, drainage, streets, that comes first.
Are you anticipating any need for capacity, right? Like for the population growth that I don't know how likely that is from the meta stuff long term, but do you see population growth in West Monroe where you need to build more residential or is there anything happening in that space?
Sure. So West Washita is one of the fastest growing or seeing the most growth in Northeast Louisiana. Not necessarily all in the city. The city is, we're landlocked, which is right. So capacity-wise in the city, but that is one reason that Trenton Bend, the residential neighborhood on the east side of Highland Park, was developed or being developed. Is new homes, you know, that type of thing. There's a lot of available properties, vacant properties within the city. We've done a lot of blight work and things. You may have to go through and get, the title, maybe some airship issues and stuff, but that kind of thing can be done to where we're seeing some, I call them onesies, houses built here and there on some vacant lots, and they sell immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
One just was built on Elias. I mean, I think it was sold before it ever finished being built.
Yeah.
And so there are those needs in the city.
Sure.
But yes, capacity, which is one reason our sewer lift stations, when we're redoing, they're being rebuilt completely. They're adding capacity as well.
Sure.
We're seeing our police force actually. The city of West Monroe may only be 13,000 people, heads in beds at night, but during the day we're 35,000 people is what the police.
Wow.
In fact, Chief Pleasant will tell you he thinks it's even more than that on a daily basis, just by the number of calls, accidents, things. Everybody comes to Monroe, West Monroe from Northeast Louisiana. We're the hub for work, school, medical.
A lot of restaurants, movie
the whole
theater,
works, right?
yeah.
Commerce, the whole works. So yes, the city of West Monroe, we see capacity needs, and we try to build those and work on those as we can. Recreation. Most people don't know that the city of West Monroe has 10 parks.
I didn't know that. I just know
Yeah.
Caroli. So.
And so we've done a lot of, we've done a lot of work.
By the way, when's that going to be open?
Don't worry, we'll text you.
Yeah, we'll text.
Yeah.
So, just more places for people to get outside and do things, more ways for us to have a walkable community, because that is what, when people go out of town, they always say, we loved going so-and-so. We could walk everywhere. It was great. So those type of things will also help. That's creating place. It's connecting people to a community. It's giving them a reason to want to stay somewhere or move or live somewhere. So, we are being told the projections from all the meta development and what, all the ancillary that comes from that should make a huge difference. I mean, they say that our region is going to look different, and in a good way, in a positive way, in the next 10, 15, 20 years. So my philosophy is government should do everything we can, the basics, the foundations, which are tax dollars are meant to do, so that people will want to be in your community.
Yeah.
And businesses will want and thrive.
Sure.
Be prosperous.
That's what Dave Ramsey says too. That's very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, government's for roads and parks, so.
Right. And if you have extra, then you're able to have, if you have good sales tax revenue, because in the state of Louisiana, most of our municipalities, 70% of our revenue comes from sales taxes, whereas I think 4% comes from property taxes. Property taxes in the city of West Monroe are the lowest in the parish.
Wow.
We have extreme.
Austin brags about that a lot.
Yes.
I don't live in the city.
You don't live in the city. In the city, we are it's half of what you may pay in Sterlington or Richwood.
I'm moving my house.
There you go. I have a friend who lives right outside the city limits, and he actually did the math the other day. It would cost him like $250 less a year if his house was located just a mile down the street, right inside the city limits. So if you have if you have a good place and your businesses are successful and you're seeing good sales tax revenue, then you get to do things like Caroli Park. No other cities our size have parks like that. I'm friends with a lot of mayors across the state. No, most of them are so jealous of our senior center and we have a rural transit system, but our senior center, it does not cost those seniors anything to go there. Again, Caroli Park, the dollar you pay is, a huge,
Sure.
a huge.
It's an incredible place
right.
out there. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orange Beach has parks like ours, but we have a very nice park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah. Exactly.
for our area.
Yeah. No, we do. Yeah, it's very
yes,
great. Yeah.
It's great. I think it beats a lot of places.
100%.
Yeah. So you can have the extras when you take care of your fundamentals and your foundation.
Yeah. So moving into this next, obviously elections are next month, and Austin, can you vote in West Monroe?
I don't think
Not
so.
in the city.
Can?
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't think so.
none of us
yeah.
can vote for you, but we will.
We've got your back.
We got
Thank
your
you.
back.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So moving into this next potential term, what are some things that you are looking forward to? Is it more of you're really looking forward to completing the projects that you've carried for all these years? Are there some new things that you're looking to push for? What's kind of your stance coming into this next election?
Well, it is to continue the successes that we're seeing, continue working with our community. There there are some initiatives and some things that I'd like to see happen. I hear every day that our city limits, that our community needs to grow. So, what does that look like? How does that happen? But really, these projects, you have to stay on top of them.
Sure.
We've got about $15 million to get done this year, and then we have another $30 million in big projects. That's not all the smaller ones. That's just big projects like the Downing Pines roundabout and redoing Downing Pines intersection at Thomas Road, the Black Bayou pumps and the pump station, and getting that. It's a FEMA project that has been going on for years, since before I came in office, but we are this close to getting FEMA to finally get it approved. And this is money, hazard mitigation money from the 2016 floods, but improving the lower part of Black Bayou Canal. The upper part of Black Bayou Canal, which is the concrete canal there that you see behind Walmart, Tinseltown, Hobby Lobby, all those. And if you notice, those concrete panels are failing.
Sure.
And so that project has actually been bid. It will get started this summer, so that's a huge deal. And then the lower one, getting that through. So it's really getting. I want to finish, and it may not even get finished, but I want to make sure they are in the progress. They are going. These FEMA projects that just take decades sometimes to get done, as well as other things. Our sewer and our drainage now. We've got projects that are really going to set us up for the next next several decades. Of course, we need to continually save, continually be prepared for being able to reinvest in our system so that someone doesn't have to go find $4.5 million just to get a sewer lift station, that you prepare for your maintenance and do more preventative maintenance on your systems.
Sure.
All of those type of things. I'd like to see We've worked a little bit on how to do redevelopment on all the vacant properties that I mentioned earlier. So land banks are a way that is used, and I say land bank, not a bank like you go walk in the door and do your checking account. It's almost like a redevelopment authority that can be targeted, have specific rules for redevelopment. We need more home ownership in the city limits of West Monroe, really in Northeast Louisiana. Our renter to homeowner rate is kind of flip-flop the national average. So how do we get more home ownership in the city?
So I would assume, I was going to bring that up, like the residential around the high school, some of those houses are 100 years old. Is there any potential path to revitalizing that area? Because I think aged homes just tend to be rentals.
Right.
People buy newer homes, rentals just kind of fall to being older ones. Is there any path forward to resolving that?
Well, West Monroe High School is doing a great job on its own helping revitalize the area. They are buying properties and want to expand the campus and do beautification things as well. Again, the city can't invest in private property.
Sure.
But right now, though, there is, we received a grant through the Office of Community Development called MAD, Make a Difference. And it is for home rehabilitation assistance and down payment assistance for to purchase a home. And so the applications are open now. So that's a grant. It's $1 million grant that we were given, and so people can apply for this grant and make renovations or rehabilitation projects on their homes. That will help with the better stock of homes. Now they have to be homeowners for that.
Okay, I was going to actually ask. Yeah.
And then down payment assistance is for first-time home buyers. So that again, doing things to incentivize people to own a home. And those type of things they have to be, of course, located within the city limits. But doing things like having more recreation, having stronger code enforcement, which is things that we have done, will help preserve your neighborhoods. Those are the best things. Making sure, mitigating the flooding issues, which we've done in several neighborhoods. Those are things that will keep people living somewhere and want to own a home there.
Want to own something that potentially would flood. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's such highly rated schools in the city limits and all that. Just crazy that we don't have more
Highland
homeowners.
Elementary, Caroli, Bowley, all of them. They're great schools.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more, and of course it's cyclical, but we're seeing more and more young families living in the Highland Park or the Sunshine Heights, as well as in Tupal. Tupal was big, new back in the 80s when I was in high school, and as people age and stuff, but now they've got over, I think, 34, 35 kids that walk to school every day that live in Tupau. They just walk up to Caroli School. How awesome is that?
Yeah, we've got friends that live in there, and their
Yeah.
kids walk to school.
Yeah.
They're both in elementary,
Right.
so yeah, very
Highland,
cool.
Sunshine Heights. So Highland Elementary is, they're in the Sunshine Heights neighborhood. Through a safety grant, was able to do a sidewalk down Arlene, which is the street right down the middle that leads straight to Highland School. Kids walk and ride their bikes to school. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Unheard
makes
of.
makes people want to live in a neighborhood.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Which that neighborhood, I doubt it has very much rental at all, if any. It's mostly homeowners. As I've known a lot of people that have renovated and flipped houses in there, because they did age. That just kind of was
Right.
a cycled neighborhood. So I guess going forward, what do you think from here on out? Like, what are you going to focus on in your next term? And I know you kind of mentioned like continuing projects.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the private investment that has already been here, like say Surge, things like that, do you think there will be expanded upon in those capacities?
100%. As we continue to see growth, as we continue, the sports complex is only 2 years old. We continue to see the number of people come here for it. Yes, so we will definitely continue to focus not only on the infrastructure projects, but also the economic development projects, and again, bringing more business to our community. But that takes the community shopping at business and supporting local business. I normally have a Shop West pin. I did not get it on this morning, and that doesn't mean shop. I mean, of course, I'm the mayor of West Monroe. I'm going to tell you to shop in West Monroe, but it really means support your local businesses.
Yeah.
If you want if you want to be able to go to a store, if you want to be able to buy things locally, then we've got to shop locally. You've got to show a potential business that would want to come to our area that it can be profitable. Businesses don't locate somewhere for the heck of it.
Right.
They locate to be profitable, and so we have to support those businesses. If you can just buy everything online and things, then why would a business come here?
Sure.
And of course, you can buy some online. I mean, everything's not available, but we all have to make a concerted effort to support our local businesses. So we will continue to do that. We will continue to look for economic development projects and ways to attract businesses and people to the city of West Monroe. We're going to continue our projects. Streets. We're in the process of really looking for street money. Street money. And you say that, I say street money is hard to find because it is. I mean, there's lots of, we've been very successful, I will say, and the state directive has been water and sewer and drainage. So, but there's not as much grant funding out there for streets.
Okay.
And complete, like mill and overlays, a basic mill and overlay on a street runs about $1 million a mile. That's a 2-lane asphalt street. Yes. So the city invested in Public Works, asked for a piece of machinery called an asphalt zipper and a crack sealer, and they are using those to prolong the life of our streets. They can do some partial repaving, I guess is what they've been doing. A whole lot of, like at intersections is where you see a lot of because where cars and trucks start and stop. They're working on all of those as we go out and look for grant funding and being able to do more streets. And we've done some streets. We've got several in the works right now, as far as in design, that will hopefully this summer get done. But really focus on streets, because sewer and drainage is going to be it's doing well. Mayor Norris had done a $25 million bond issue back in 2015 that went towards some streets and water. So water, and we're continuing to do water projects as well, but big projects we're really going to focus on streets.
Yeah.
Was that the Arkansas road kind of
That's
stuff?
actually a state highway, so that was a state project.
He's a Monroe guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
It's
my
okay.
parents lived off by hours off White's
Yeah.
Ferry, so
Yeah.
Still not city.
Yeah, that's a state highway, and that's not in the city.
yeah, it's close.
Yeah, so but hey, but you bring up a really good point, because a lot of people they'll say our streets are terrible, and I'm like, well, tell me what streets you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you've got state highways. I mean, there are parish roads that go through the city of West Monroe. A good one is Old Natchitoches between Thomas and Jonesboro Highway. I get calls regularly, redo that street. It's not a city street. It is a parish road.
Wait, the one
That's interesting.
where Beacon is at QXO, is that Old Natchitoches? Where all
Old
like Tom
Natchitoches.
Sanders and all of those businesses are? Is that?
Well, Tom Sanders is down on Downing Pines.
Sorry, yeah.
So Old Natchitoches from Thomas to Jonesboro Highway.
Okay.
So it's there's some storage buildings.
Yes.
There's Trent
Familiar.
Appliance.
Got it,
There's
got it, yes.
all the basic drive comes out to there.
That's right.
That is spotty in there. Some of those properties are in the city limits. Some are not. But
So
that is a
Walk-Ons is
parish
in
road.
city limits.
Walk-Ons is in the city limits.
Which backs up right there.
Yes, but there's also a private road that goes from like the Golden Corral back towards Thomas Road. That's a private street. It is not a city street.
Interesting.
It is the largest pothole that
It's
I've
a
ever
private
seen
street.
anywhere.
So
that guy.
that's why I
Yeah.
tell people, tell me what street.
Yeah.
And because again, state highways there's so many state highways that go through the city. So just know what street you're talking about.
We need to get some signs that say like not a city
I
street,
know.
so you don't catch the heat.
Yeah.
Because
That's
every
what
time I
was
hit
saying.
that one, I'm
I
like,
know.
man, I know that like
Yeah.
city people come over here, you know.
Y'all do catch a lot of unfair flack for things from people who are unaware, and that is unfortunate. I know we have Riverfest coming up.
Yes, Washita River Fest.
Will you talk a little bit about that?
I
and tell
sure
us what's going
will.
on?
It is. It's the 4th year of Washita River Fest.
Okay.
It is a festival that we came up with a way to celebrate our river, our downtown, our community, and it really kind of came from. During the COVID, we had a local music festival, Love Local, I think is what we called it, and we did it out at Caroli Park. And so this kind of took that along with involving the river somehow and morphed it all together. We have the space downtown at Alley Park and on the river. So Washita River Fest, this is its 4th year. It is the number one or the festival of the year by the Louisiana Travel Association.
Oh, wow.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser came up back a couple month or so ago and presented all of that to us.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's April 24th, 25th. Again, could not happen without our community volunteers and people. The Downtown Westmore Revitalization Group is very active in it. Graphic Packaging is the title sponsor for it. Duck Commander is a huge sponsor for it. And there's others, Building Futures, Duck Commander, and there's some others, and I have to go to the website and look again real quick. But we have a duck drop that is done where they drop 4,000 rubber ducks into the Washita River. You can adopt a duck, and if your duck wins, is first to go down the river, you win $1,000. All the money and then there's music lineup all day on Saturday, and Friday night there is music as well as a roper romp, which I had no idea how popular a roper romp would be. I forget who brought it to our attention, but there's like these roper romps are done all over, and it's people dress up like Mrs. Roper. I don't know if y'all remember. I remember Mrs. Roper very well from Three's Company, but she was a character on a sitcom, very lively, colorful character, and so people dress up like Mrs. Roper, and they go up. There's a little shopping event, I guess, downtown, and there's a dance and all that. I had no idea how many people would dress up like Miss Roper, and the first time I walked out and I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, there was over 100 people. I mean, it was crazy. Yes. So this is the 4th year. It will be bigger and better than ever, I'm sure. But all of the proceeds go to the riverfront projects and things in downtown. So it's an event. It's a quality of life. It's something to do. People are always saying there's nothing to do. Well, they're wrong. It's something to do. We celebrate our musicians. There's local music. There's different genres. It's just a good time. There's vendors. There's food trucks. It's just a good time.
Anytime y'all put something on downtown, or whoever puts up the things on downtown, it's always like really well executed, very clean, very like safe, family oriented. Like even the art walks, what happened down there a lot, are just they're just very community involved. It's like it pulled off very well.
And I'm going to give kudos to Courtney Hornsby and Jonathan Kaufman for that. They are city employees. That they are the city, I guess, part of the festivals and those events and logistics and that. Adrian LaFrance Wells does, of course, all the food trucks and all of that. The police department provides the security. I mean, it's everyone working together. Yeah. The volunteers, the community partners, the sponsors. It couldn't be done without all of that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One last thing from me. Did you get to meet Drew Brees?
I did.
That is so cool.
Can you
I
call
did.
him for us? Yeah.
Right now.
when Surge opened,
Yeah.
he came and I got to ride in the golf cart with him,
Yeah.
around. And so, yeah, I sure did.
That's a life high.
Yes.
Incredible.
Oh, cool.
I also got to jump out of an airplane with the Golden Army Knight.
With Drew
Okay.
Brees?
No, not with the Brees. No, with the Army, the Golden
Really?
Knights was doing a thing.
Just
was
maximizing the job.
I
you
love.
know?
I was
That's
like,
so cool.
there's-
they
mega
called.
perks.
They're like, "You want to jump out of an airplane?" I'm like, "With who?"
Yeah.
And they said a Golden Knight. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
that."
I
How
feel
was
safe.
that experience?
It was amazing.
I
I'll do
bet.
it again tomorrow. All they got to
that's
do
so
is
cool.
call. I'll be there.
That's so cool.
Just landed right at the city hall.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, look, wrapping up, we just want to say that we're very honored to have we noticed this with Friday Ellis as well, like young, intelligent, like go-getters, like leaders in our community who are like constantly striving to make these things happen. We know that not all communities around the state or the country benefit from having such like invested leaders who are making things happen. So we're very honored that you play the role that you do. We're very thankful for all that you've done, and we hope continued success for you, and we hope you get to keep it going.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I plan on it. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And it's not just me. There's a great team of people in the
Yeah.
city and our community all working to continue the successes that we're seeing in West Monroe.
Absolutely. Thank God. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.